Hi, this is your host, Camille, Elise, and we're here in Atlanta, Georgia at the Oasis Worship Center here with Tasha Cobb, the Grammy Award, three-time Stellar, three-time Dove Award winner, but also your best soul winner. Come on, somebody. Tell the Lord thank you. So here we're here to talk about the collective, which actually is a gathering where singers, producers, songwriters have actually come together to connect, be empowered, and also be inspired on today. So today we're just gonna have a couple of questions, and we're gonna ask Miss Tasha Cobbs to tell us a little bit about herself, and why was she excited to come on today and share the information to other artists.
Well, thank you for having me today. Today has been awesome. The collective is absolutely amazing. I think it's necessary. And Trent has absolutely heard from God to pull together so people who work together in a sense, but never really connect in a sense, So you get to talk to songwriters, you get to talk to singers and bring the band members together, and each of us have a chance to have a discussion or, to learn more information about what it is that we do. And I think it's very rare around the world, and it's been needed so much, especially in a church arena, where you have a lot of musicians who look up to people who have been on the panel today, who have spoken to them today, and now they get to hear directly from their heart about the works that they've done and the things that they've created throughout the years and how they accomplished that. Because so many people have that question of how in the world did you do this? And so this gives the platform for people like who have been so successful at it to be able to say, well, this is what I did, and this is, I obeyed God for one, and two, I put a plan in place to make it happen.
Absolutely. Also, I thought about when I was reading up, I thought about your upbringing and how you sung in the church as not actually composing things in the church, orchestrating the choir, singing back around your father's church, and it pertains to the platform that you have now. So with that being said, what would you tell upcoming artists, like, when it pertains to not giving up and pursuing your dream, when they get discouraged? Because there will be a point where, it's like, I'm doing everything you said, but stuff still is not adding up. So what would you tell that upcoming artist?
My advice would be very, very simple. Master the place where you are. If that's a place of greatness, master that. If that's a low place where God is teaching you through a process, master that. But never try to move prematurely, because it'll only set you back. So you have to, a lot of times I say this all the time, you want to kick down doors and not wait on God to open the door. And that's where a lot of people make mistakes. They want to kick this door open, try to take avenues that aren't necessarily legal or the proper way to do it, but there is a proper way and there is a process, and all this, I just said it on the stage, the process is not always comfortable, but sometimes God will use your uncomfortable place to prepare you for where he's taking you.
Absolutely. And when you talked about low place, within, I don't want to say the Christian Post, you had an interview, and then you talked about battling depression, because it's very much real, and we deal with it all the time. And you said that the song Grace, it was birthed from that, So the process is what you was talking about. So I thought that was powerful within itself, because when I read it, I was like, whoa, I didn't even know that you dealt with depression, honestly, until I was on Instagram, because I'm not a social media person, you guys. I'm working on it. But I was, I want to say, it was in Virginia, if I'm not mistaken. It was a conference you just did, and you were on stage. Michelle Williams was there.
It was in LA.
Okay, it was in LA. Okay. The Merge. Yes, the Merge. And you guys were talking about depression. Yeah. I was like, oh, I didn't know she dealt with depression. I know your father had died, and he was someone, a matriarch in your family, so I could only imagine how you dealt with it. But what are some things, because you are a mentor, and this is like a mentorship program that Trent is actually birthing. This is just the beginning, right? Absolutely. Next year we're looking for it to be major, you guys. So, but you have I Lead Escape, and you're actually mentoring, is a global with over 2,000 participants, you know. So I know that it's challenging and takes a lot from you, because my dad's a pastor, and I know with just like 5 people, you know, he's like, get out of my office. So like, how do you deal with that work-life balancing, being there for the people who need you?
You know, mentorship is one of my major keys. Like I preach it, I teach it. I tell all my mentees, you have to find someone that you can not necessarily have to touch all the time, but to watch their lives. One of my favorite scriptures says to study to show thyself approved. And a lot of times we want to be approved as the next big singer, songwriter, but we don't study. And studying is not always getting a book and reading. It's studying people who have been successful at that lane that you're walking in. So that's one of the things that I really, really drive. So it's not so much so I've gotten them away from feeling like I got to touch you, be in your presence, text you every day. There's no way you can give 2,000 people your phone number, but I am a transparent person. Just like you got on Instagram and you saw about the depression, I make sure that the process of what God has taken me through is documented where they can see it and say, okay, there's nothing wrong with me. This is just a part of my process where God is creating my testimony. If Tasha can make it through depression, surely I can make it through my situation. And so it's more so about being transparent and open. And that's the platform that Trent has made available to all of these leaders who have been here at the collective, where they can get up and tell their story and be open about when they were down, when they were out, when they felt like giving up, and when they were celebrating, getting awards. And that's all a part of the process.
Well, thank you so much, you guys. So, guys, we got to cut it short today because we do have another venue to go to with the Connect. Like I say, this is a major platform, as she stated, and an opportunity for artists, upcoming artists, established artists, because Kevin Bunn, we heard from him today. We heard from Elvin Ross and many others that are great in their fields and what they do in their artistry. So we want to thank you again, Miss Tasha Cobb, and we love your music. Believe me, all the chains were broken, okay? Now we're putting the praise on it. So we thank you so much for coming, and thank you for spending your time with us, seriously. And it's Camille, Elise, we're out.